If you've owned 3 or more cars in the last 10 years, it says a lot about you. But probably not what you think. There's a real psychological trait behind this. It has a name. Researchers have studied it for decades. It's called novelty seeking. It's not about cars. Cars are just where it shows up the most visibly. Psychologists describe novelty seeking as the drive to pursue new experiences, new stimulation, and new rewards, instead of staying with what's familiar. It's linked to a specific part of how your brain handles reward. The dopamine system, the same circuit involved in motivation and anticipation. About half of where this trait comes from is genetic. You didn't choose to be wired this way any more than someone else chose to be wired the opposite way. This is the same trait that shows up in people who switch careers more, move more, and try more things before settling on what they actually want. Here's the part most videos about this leave out. This isn't a purely good trait. It comes with real trade-offs. People high in novelty seeking are more likely to act on impulse, get bored faster, and have a harder time sticking with long routines. It's also been linked to higher risk-taking in general, not just with cars, but with money, with relationships, with decisions made in the moment. So if you've owned 3 or more cars in 10 years, the honest answer isn't that you're flighty or that you're free-spirited. It's that your brain is wired to find familiarity less rewarding than most people's. You probably get a strange itch a year or two before most people would even think about replacing something that still works fine. You remember the feeling of a new car more clearly than you remember most of the actual drives in it. You've justified an upgrade to other people more than once, even when you knew the real reason was simpler than what you said out loud. You've never once thought, "I'll drive this until it dies." That sentence doesn't make sense to you. You research the next one before you've even fully decided to get rid of the current one. You get a small thrill from a new dashboard, a new smell, a new sound the engine makes that most people would barely notice. You've never been the person at a gathering bragging about how long they've kept something. That story has never once been yours to tell. You get along fine with people who keep the same car for 20 years. You just don't understand how they do it, and they don't understand how you don't. You've sold a car you genuinely liked, not because anything was wrong with it, but because something new existed. You probably do this with more than just cars, phones, furniture, even your own routines. You've started over more times than most people you know, and you've never really thought of it as starting over. To you, it's just moving forward. Here's the thing worth actually knowing about yourself, if this is you. Novelty seeking isn't a flaw to fix, but it does mean you're more likely to mistake restlessness for a real problem when sometimes it's just your baseline. The actual research suggests the people who do best with this trait aren't the ones who suppress it. They're the ones who learn which parts of their life can handle the change and which parts genuinely need to stay still. A car can change every 2 years. A foundation usually can't. You're not flighty. You're not shallow. You're running on a brain that finds the unfamiliar more rewarding than most people's do, and now you actually know that, instead of just feeling it. How many cars have you owned in the last 10 years? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious if the number matches what you just heard.